to another video. Now, I came across some startling information and I just wanted to kind of share this with you guys. I want to make sure you guys are being safe and healthy this 2024. The New Year's upon us. A lot of us have different New Year's resolutions, but we got to be careful what we're consuming. We got to be very careful about what we're drinking and where our water comes from. And I came across this really interesting study. And I don't know if you guys are able to see and hear me okay. Hopefully you can. But recent studies reveal a startling public health crisis. Our drinking water is contaminated with a range of substances, including painkillers, blood thinners, even chemotherapy drugs. And, you know, a lot of us are not really aware of what's actually in the freaking, you know, in the tap water that we're drinking. And, you know, a lot of you guys have been telling me, you know, hey, Ron, be careful. There's a lot of, there's a resurgence in the C19 cases that are coming up and stuff like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, we got to be real careful. You know, there's different mandates that may be put out in the future. I'm not seeing anything yet, but I'm just saying, guys, be careful, stay prepared. But it's really startling because there's like half of the United States has toxic or contaminated tap water. And that's kind of like what I wanted to share with you guys today, right? And it's saying that these substances are detected at unprecedented levels, leading to a toxic cocktail of chemicals in our tap water that could ultimately have very severe health implications. And, you know, these health companies, these drug companies, they are making a killing. I mean, look at Pfizer, look at Moderna, look at Johnson & Johnson, all of these companies, big, huge companies with record profits, and it's public information. These are publicly traded companies that we see that are probably in your 401k portfolio. These are on the stock market. The S&P 500 is setting records, and it makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder. One of the alarming examples is the presence of, let me know if you guys have ever heard of PFAS. You ever heard of PFAS? I mean, it's crazy. Like, I mean, me personally, I will not drink water if it's not bottled or I know for a fact that it's filtered. So, for example, here's a glass, okay? You think I'm gonna drink this? Think I'm gonna drink this? Would you drink it? The only way I would drink this is if this water was filtered, meaning you can actually get a home filtration system. Someone said, Mr. Ron, are you sick? I'm curious. I'm always watching. No, I'm not sick. Thank you for asking. By the way, if you guys are able to see and hear me okay, just hit the like button or comment that you're able to see and hear me okay. Got the wireless mic and we are live. Who do we got in here? We got Jay Williams, 1431. I got Joan Carter Craig. So Joan has heard of PFAS, right? So this PFAS here, and you know, I'm just reading here, so I'm just sharing with you guys some information. These substances have been identified in, hold on, before I even go there, the alarming example of the presence of PFAS, and I can't even pronounce what this PFAS actually means, what it stands for, but check this out, guys. It says chemicals found in consumer products like firefighting foam and nonstick cookware. How many of you guys have some nonstick cookware in the house? Like here's a nonstick cookware pan, right? We've all got these nonstick cookware pans. They're great, right? Like the eggs don't stick and stuff like that, but they can create a problem. They can create a big problem. And it says here, chemicals found in products like firefighting foam and nonstick cookware. These substances have been identified, and get this, guys, 610 locations nationwide, affecting the drinking water of approximately 19 million Americans. That's a lot of freaking people. That's a lot of people. That's like, that's a lot of people. Anyway, so the potential impact is grave, with an estimated 100,000 cancer cases over a lifetime linked to these chemicals. we got to be careful, guys. We talked a lot about insurance lately, life insurance. A lot of people are, thankful that they had life insurance because, can you imagine if, a loved one were to, unexpectedly leave this planet as a result of one of the many things that could potentially take us out. And it is very, very concerning. Now, to answer your question, I actually do not have a home filtration system. So this tap water is unfiltered and I will not be drinking this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this out. But the water in the refrigerator is filtered and this I will drink. And of course, bottled water, I'm okay with drinking that too. But you gotta be careful, guys. But check this out. These substances have been identified in over 610 locations, and they're leading to cancer cases. In fact, the issue is actually compounded by the durability of these chemicals because, unfortunately, because they're titled as like forever chemicals, these chemicals, they don't break down, and that's a big problem. Unlike other substances that can break down or decompose over time in the environment, the PFAS are nearly indestructible and they remain in the environment indefinitely. And I want to share with you guys 10 states that have literally, like these 10 states are the worst states. Like these are the 10 states in America with the most toxic contaminated tap water in America. So I want to share that with you guys. And I don't know if you guys might be living in one of those states, but I'd be extra careful. And as a matter of fact, I went ahead and dropped a link in the video description so that you can protect yourself and your family. You can hit the link and you can see some of the best water filtration systems that are available, many of them under $100. So there's a link in the description down below if you guys want to check those out so you can protect yourselves. But check this out, guys. So basically these PFAS are nearly indestructible chemicals that stay in our water, they stay in our environment, and they can do us some serious harm. Becky says PFAS is running high in Wisconsin. I'm really, really impressed by you guys. A lot of you guys know what PFAS is. Bud Gibson, is your kitchen new? Yeah, actually we redid the kitchen. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So anyway, this has a real world consequence in communities like Parkersburg, where, get this, guys, where residents were advised against using tap water for any purpose due to contamination levels reaching 26,000 parts per trillion. They're only supposed to have up to the safe limit of 40. So Parkersville had contamination levels reaching 26,000. They're only supposed to be at 40, not 40,000, not 4,000, 40. So if you're at 26,000, like that sounds like highly, I don't want to say like deadly, but theoretically it could be deadly because we've already seen the details here indicating that an estimated 100,000 cancer cases over a lifetime are linked to these chemicals. So that's really, really concerning. And the crisis really just kind of underscores the lack of awareness among the general population, many of whom expect clean water to be coming out of these faucets, out of the tap water. And it's just not the case. In fact, the situation demands immediate attention and action to safeguard the public and to ensure the safety of our most vital resource, which is water. Now, here's the thing, guys. I want you guys to be aware of some of the states that are most at risk, because you might be living in one of them. Maybe you know someone who lives in one of these states, right? But get this, nearly half of the tap water in the United States is contaminated, according to a government study. And if the government's willing to admit this, I mean, that's pretty big, right? So it says here, the number of people drinking contaminated tap water might even be higher than what the study found. However, because the researchers weren't able to test for all of these per they weren't able to test for all these PFAS chemicals that were considered dangerous to human health. But get this, there's more than 12,000 types of these PFASs according to the National Institute of Health. So it makes you wonder, I mean, if this is what they're telling us, we already know that the numbers are way worse than this because they're admitting that they weren't able to test for all. And this is on, check this out. This is on CNN.com. So, you know, like this is like legit here, CNN Health. And it's startling to see this, right? And get this, guys, Fort Worth, they're working to remove toxic PFAS chemicals as well. So Fort Worth, that would be Texas, one of the cities. They're running this $1.3 million study to seek to determine how the city could actually clear up their water systems. So this is one, but the thing that I really wanted to share with you guys, look at this, Jersey Shore towns. So Jersey Shore towns have been named in a suit over toxic chemicals in the drinking water. So again, guys, this is a big problem. It's a big problem. But let's talk about the 10 states with the worst tap water in America. All right. So number one on the list here, Washington. And I'm really surprised to see Washington is number one on the list. And I don't know if this list is necessarily in the order of worst to like the number one worst state. And then as I go down the list, it gets progressively like less bad. But Washington is number one on the list. Almost 3 million Washington residents, or over 40% of the state's population, were served unsafe water in 2015, according to this document here. It's a little concerning. I mean, think about it. Most kids, if you don't teach them, they're going to just drink water from the tap. You know, they're like, hey, this water is clear. It must be safe, right? Maybe not, you know? So, but anyway, like I said, you know, I'm drinking filtered water from the refrigerator, which we change out the filter like every 4 months or so. And then if it's not that, then it's like bottled water. But I think we should probably consider investing in one of those home water filtration systems. They're kind of pricey, but it would make it so that all of the water that comes out of every faucet in your home is purified, is filtered. So that might be a good investment. I have a buddy who actually has a home water filtration system, and he spent a pretty penny on it. But the interesting thing about it is he's had it for a couple of years. But, you know, like if you look at this here, I don't want to drip this. I don't want to drip water everywhere. But if you look closely at the holes where the water comes out, you will find that in yours at home, and even mine, they're kind of like they will build up like calcium and like, you know, some corrosion there over time. However, if you look at my buddy's faucets, all of his are completely clean after years, and it just shows evidence of how much crap is still coming through the tap water, and how effectively unclean or contaminated they are. Now, of course, depending upon what state you live in, you know, there's variations of how contaminated the water is. So number two on the list here, California. So California is another state on the list. It's actually number two on the list of the most contaminated, worst tap water in America. 2015, look at this, 2015. 2.5 million California residents received water from the water systems that violated the SDWA, affecting over 832 communities statewide. California's low-grade drinking water affects mostly its low-income and rural communities. Wonder why? Let me go ahead and reiterate that for a second, right? I don't know if you guys were listening. California's low-grade drinking water affects mostly its low-income and rural communities. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? That's very interesting. I think that's kind of messed up. I would hate to think that they're intentionally leaving low income and rural communities with the lowest grade of water. But yeah, that's kind of messed up. I think everybody deserves regardless of how much income you have, to have clean, quality drinking water. But even if you live in urban areas, err on the side of caution when it comes to the quality of your water. While California has begun taking action, it may take decades to resolve its many drinking water challenges. Number 3 on the list, we got Arizona. So Arizona's up on the list here. Arizona's tap water is also one of the most dangerous across the nation. Recent reports show that Phoenix's tap water has the highest level of chromium-6. Oh my God. You don't even want me to read this next line. So it says here, Arizona has the highest average levels of chromium-6, a known carcinogen in the United States. I mean, I don't even think I need to tell you anything else beyond that. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah. So, you know who's number 4? I'm gonna see if y'all can guess this. The state that's number 4 happens to have the highest risk of hurricanes. Let's see how many of you guys can guess the number 4 state on the list. Is the state with the highest probability of having a hurricane. It is the state that has had a tremendous number of homeowners insurance companies leave the state due to high risk. I see a guess. Somebody said North Carolina. What's going on, Catalia? I see you. I got Becky in here. Let's see. There's a difference between bottled water and the spring water. Oh well. I'm starting to see some guesses in here. You guys are starting to get a lot warmer. No pun intended. It is the state that had mask restrictions removed sooner than any other state during the pandemic. Somebody says California. I see somebody saying Michigan. I see somebody saying Louisiana. Does Louisiana and Michigan have a high chance of hurricanes? Somebody says Mississippi. All right, I'm going to give it to you guys. Florida. Florida is number 4 on the list here. And it says here, check this out, guys. Florida's poor tap water results from 2 ecological emergencies that occurred in the state during 2018. I don't know if you guys remember this, but during that year, red tide microorganisms drifted into the Gulf of Mexico and the blue-green algae overflowed into lakes, rivers, and the ocean. The double eco disasters killed massive amounts of marine life and shifted attention to the state's waters. Then they also said that Florida also experienced an overabundance of fertilizer and other pollutants due to the freshwater algae blooms, yada, yada, yada. But here's they didn't mention this part in this article, so I'm gonna just go ahead and drop. How many oil rigs, oil tankers, and like, Jesus, I forget what you call them. Basically, how many of these like oil leaks took place in the Gulf of Mexico in the last 10 years, right? Like, that's a lot of pollution. Like, I think I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. I think BP had this massive oil, here it is, oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Here we go. Deepwater Horizon, let me see. The oil drilling rig Deepwater Horizon operating in the Macando prospect in the Gulf of Mexico exploded and sank. Let me click on this. Where is it? Hold on. Exploded and sank. Okay, here it is. Exploded and sank, and resulting in the death of 11 workers on the deep sea water horizon. And it was the largest spill of oil in the history of marine oil drilling operations. Get this, guys. You want to talk about pollution in our water systems? 4 million barrels of oil flowed from the damaged Macando well over 87 days. 87 freaking days, guys. Yeah, so that could definitely impact the water, right? All right, so number 5 state, we got New Jersey here. Says here that the PFCs and other highly toxic synthetic chemicals used in the states. Geez, man, like this is just bad. So number 6 on the list, you got Pennsylvania. Number 7, we got Georgia. It says here that Georgia's drinking water is some of the nation's worst. This is mainly due to its polluted rivers, streams, and wells. Gosh, look at this stuff. In some areas of the Peach State, chromium, arsenic, chloroform, freaking chloroforms in the tap water. You got to be kidding me. Radium, bromate, chlorate, and radium levels are reported well above legal guidelines. And it also says that THMs, which are linked to skin cancer, bladder cancer, fetal development issues, are also detected in some water systems. Wow. So number 8 on the list, got to be careful, guys, Puerto Rico. Number 9 on the list, Texas, the Lone Star State. It says here, shockingly, about 12 million Texans were served with unsafe water, and the quality doesn't seem to be improving according to recent reports. And last on the list, we got Ohio. Last on the list is Ohio. It says here, like some other states, many Texans, almost 3 million to be exact, received contaminated water from community systems, putting over 25% of the state's population at risk. So guys, like I said, I left a link for you guys in the description down below this video. In that link, you'll see water filtration systems. If you don't have one, make sure you have one, because guess what? If there's any kind of like event that happens, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. We've gotten all these different warnings and whatnot. And I'm not trying to be fearful. I'm not fear mongering. I'm just saying, have a water filtration system. Even if nothing happens, like, do you really want to drink tap water? Like, I'm not about to drink this tap water. Like, one of these days, we're going to invest in like one of these water filtrations for the house, and that way you can just drink out of any old tap. But for now, we haven't done that, so we're not going to be doing that. Catalia says, get your Berkeley water filtration system. I don't even know anything about that. I'm going to have to Google that one. Jay Williams says, thank you for sharing, Mr. Ron. You are welcome. Mary Perry Smith here in Indiana, all daycare homes, home centers, ministries are having to have our water tested. This just started, so I'm waiting to see how my water is. Wow. So this is very relevant for a lot of people. This is very relevant. By the way, if you guys haven't already, hit the like button. If you appreciate the content, if you appreciate being kept up to date with things that matter to you, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Texas, let's see, we got Pamela White saying, whew, I feel better. I'm not in Illinois. Seriously. Barb Turner, I'm glad you caught me live as well. We got Lauren Woodle. What is going on? Excuse me. I'm sorry. Lawrence Woodle. How are you doing? Happy Saturday. Today is the 6th of January. We're 6 days into the new year. I hope you guys are doing well, guys. I really do. Lord Cuckoo. So far, so good here in Indiana. Got Rebecca Hura. Ohio has bad water. Yes, Ohio was number 10 on the list. It does have bad water. We got Gary Maynard. Hey, brother, what's going on? Texas Patriot there. What's going on? Catalia, love the channel. Appreciate it. I appreciate it, Catalia. Good information as always. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to just quickly share this with you. I stumbled across this article, talking about the Jersey Shore towns named in this lawsuit. It literally came out like less than 48 hours ago. Jersey Shore towns named in this suit over toxic chemicals in the drinking water. It just kind of got me thinking, like, when information like this comes out, usually it's kind of like, when anything comes out, it's usually like a precursor to something else or something bigger. So I was just kind of like, all right, well, Jersey Shore towns got named in this lawsuit over like toxic chemicals in the drinking water. Let me see how safe is our drinking water. And then that kind of got me like doing more and more research. So I just wanted to share this information with you guys because I thought it was interesting. Apparently you guys do too. So that's definitely what's up. Let's see. Hobo Thomas says, I have a fruit trees. I have a fruit tree farm here in Michigan. You can dig down 15 foot and you have drinking water, but boil it first. Yeah, you definitely can't go wrong boiling the water. That definitely helps out quite a bit. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy hanging out on I'm gonna go ahead and bring this one to a close. If you haven't already, do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't gotten your water filtration system, like I said, I left a link for you guys to be able to check some of the ones that I found out in the description of this video. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Y'all take care.